Hello everyone, this is Jen with Roxy Bonds Creates, and I want to welcome you to demo time. Today we are working with the Seaside Wishes bundle. So this is, as a reminder, a pre-recorded video. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them below this video in the group and I will answer them as I see them. Okay, so let's talk about the Seaside Wishes bundle. I absolutely love this. This is a three product, I guess you could say, bundle. And so let's take a look. It is a stamp set. So these are the images and sentiments that are in the stamp set. So I have the stamp, and then it has a die cut. So these are the dies that are in there. So it is a triple die for 3 different starfish. And then there's these, I think these are like sea fans, more starfish. Sorry, these are sand dollars, starfish, and then seagrass. Okay. And then it also has an embossing folder. So it's a hybrid embossing folder. And what that means is that it embosses and cuts at the same time. So it will emboss this triple sand dollar image here. And then the coolest part is that this die fits right inside here. Like, nope, it goes like that. Nope, it goes like this. I'll get it. It goes like this. Ta-da! And it fits right in there. So you have to have the top part of the embossing folder, and the top part is the one that has the Stampin' Up! Logo. And so that was my first mistake. And then, of course, the cutting blade part is going to be facing you. And then it just literally like kind of snaps right into place. So I want to show you a couple of things here. I want to show you embossed, just the embossed image. I want to show you inked and embossed, and I want to show you cutting. So let's get started here. The first thing we're going to do, well, the first thing I need to do is move some of this stuff out of the way. And I have my embossing, my Stampin' Up! Cut Emboss machine. And so let's get that up here on the table. And it takes up a lot of space. So hopefully nothing gets knocked around here, but it's quite a sturdy machine. I absolutely love this machine. And I am going to take just a piece of white cardstock. That might not be my best option here, but it's the only thing I have cut, I believe. So let me just double check really quick on my little table here of mess. That I don't have any other cardstock here, but we're gonna do white. So I have cut a white piece of cardstock and I'm gonna place it right inside the embossing folder, close it up, and then on my emboss machine, it has several different plates, and it tells me to, with a 3D embossing folder, I'm gonna use plate 1, and then my embossing, and then plate 4. So we're just gonna do the sandwich just like that. We're gonna run it through, and comes out the back. And let's take a look at the embossed image. So here is my embossed image. Isn't that pretty cool? I love how it turned out. Now it's white, so you can't really see a ton of detail. So I'm gonna show you just a little something here. I'm gonna get another piece of paper, and this is a smaller piece, but what I wanna do is I wanna take some ink and a sponge, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of ink on the inside of my sand dollar. Probably, let's see. You can probably just do these two, and we're just gonna emboss it so you can see how the ink would come out, okay? So I'm gonna take some toffee ink. I feel like I don't have a ton of space to work here with this machine on the table. So let's find a sponge that is clean. Here we go, here's a sponge, and we'll cut a little slice off. And let's take some ink, and I'm just gonna sponge some ink right onto the embossing folder. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can in there. And then I think I can see a little bit of ink there. Add some ink, and it's just going to give you a little bit of color. So let's put the paper, I'm going to put it at an angle on the inked part, and then I'm going to close it. So now my embossing folder is actually upside down. It doesn't really matter whether it's right side up or upside down when it goes through the machine, but you can see a little bit of ink kind of shining through there on the white cardstock. So let's roll it through and we'll take a look at what happens to the embossed image here. And voila, we have a little bit of toffee ink color on the embossed part. So cool, isn't that amazing? So then what can happen is, I'm gonna show you this one next. You cut these out and then you've got a little bit of like that ink on there. So what I could do, so let's do that next. Do I have another piece of white? I do. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add some toffee ink. It's back here. Okay, let's add just a little more ink. Let's do it on this one. And I think I have enough space here. Now we're gonna cut. So I'm gonna take my die cut and I'm gonna put it right over the image, and then I'm gonna put my paper on top. So I'm focusing on cutting out this one little sand dollar there because that's the one I inked, but you'll see that it's gonna cut the rest of the paper too. So there we go. And then I'm gonna run it through and I will have that one, that I'm just looking at the one sand dollar, but I will have it inked and cut. So isn't it cool that it does this all at the same time? Okay, so there's my thing. This one was partially cut. I mean, I could probably use that and cover it up, but here is my inked and cut sand dollar. So cool. Now I can use this as an embellishment for a card or a layout. Very cool. And then this is just the extra piece that I would toss. Okay, now this piece here was done almost the same way. The only difference here is that instead of sponging the ink in the center, so when you sponge the ink in the center, you get the ink focused in the center of that sand dollar. What happened here is I inked the entire embossing folder and then ran it through. And I'm gonna show you how to do that, but we're gonna do it in a different color. So that was done on white with toffee. I'm gonna take just a little baby wipe and try to wipe off some of that ink so we don't get any transfer. Just clean it up a little bit. And now we're going to ink it in papaya. So I'm gonna take my papaya ink pad and I'm gonna run it all over, let's see, yep, I'm still in the camera, all over the embossing folder. So you can see that there is a good coverage ink on there. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of cardstock and I'm gonna put, I'm actually gonna use peach cardstock. So papaya on peach. I'm gonna set it down on the opposite side and then I'm gonna fold it over and I'm gonna show you how that's gonna make like a background, like almost like a pattern paper. Okay, so we go like this. We run it through, and then I have this inked piece. So now it kind of looks like a little pattern paper, right? So I'm gonna do the same on this side. I'm gonna show you, I'll tell you why in just a second. Because this piece of paper is going to be used in a layout that I'm gonna show at one of the show and tells this weekend. So you'll have to come back and watch the show and tell videos to see this technique. So here it is. It is one 3 by 12 inch piece of paper. And this piece right here where you can kind of see like the, I guess you could say the crease there, is going to get covered up by something else. So I'm really just focused on the top and the bottom there. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, I have cleaned up my embossing machine and all of those pieces, and now we're going to put together 2 cards using the Seaside Wishes bundle along with the Country Woods paper suite. Okay, so I have these 2 cards that I've already done, and then I have them pre-cut and ready for assembly for this demo today. So let's start with this card here. And this card features this beautiful, like turquoise aqua wood grain paper. And so what I've done here is I have folded up, I don't know, I would say maybe like equivalent to about 1 inch in each corner, and then exposed like the middle piece here. That way I could stamp my sentiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper, and they're all just about the same size, so that's good. And I'm going to fold the corner in on all of them at the same time, just so I know about how far to fold, okay? So then I'm gonna take one piece at a time, and oops, they were supposed to fold the other way. Well, at least I have it folded, right? Okay, so I've got one, and then I'm gonna do, I guess I could do it that way, but I like the turquoise better. So let's fold the other one, and then the third one, and the fourth one. So I just wanted to make sure that they're all about the same size fold, and then I'm going to glue those directly onto my card. And then once I've glued it down, then I can stamp my sentiment. I need to make sure that that's exactly in the middle. So let me get a little bit of adhesive going here on these pieces. And I could, if I want to, kind of tack these down. But on this one, you can see I didn't, and they're still kind of staying in that fold position. Because once you put it in an envelope, they're just gonna stay there. They're not gonna go anywhere. Okay, so I've got them all with glue on them, and then I'm leaving a border all the way around, and then there's going to be kind of a bigger border in the center there. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, leave about 1/4 inch all the way around. Okay, so here's where I have done myself wrong, so it's not going to go like that. So we got to go this way. I guess I was doing that the wrong way. But I'm going to fold about the same size as I did before. Okay. There we go. So now one of them is going to be correct. This one will be correct, and the other one I will have to fix. And then this one I have to fix. Okay, well, I was 2 for 4. Okay, I just had to move the adhesive there a little bit. I had good intentions, right? Okay, let me get a little bit more adhesive down there. And there's my last piece. Okay, so I've got all 4 of my corner pieces on. And now I want to stamp, a little extra adhesive there. Now I want to stamp my sentiment right in the middle. So I have put it on a block already. We're going to use toffee ink. And let's stamp that right in the center. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. There we go. It's a little faint, but it'll show up a little bit better after it's dry. And then I just need to embellish. So I have my sea star, which I need to stamp. So I'm going to pull that stamp out and do that. And then I have a little bit of twine and just my little sea fan and my sand dollar. So let's stamp the sea star. And believe it or not, these stars have, what would you call it? Like a direction to them. So they're not exactly symmetrical stars. Uh-oh, that just fell in the trash. And so I'm gonna play a little bit and just make sure I have it going the right way. And I think I got it. There we go. So that is stamped. And then we're just gonna glue these on. So I'm gonna actually use this tape runner because this will get covered. So this is gonna sit right here on the end. We'll use some dimensionals on the back of this one. These are mini dimensionals that I got from one of the card kits, Paper Pumpkin, or one of the Kids Collection kits. Peel those off. And then I'm gonna actually put on my twine as well. This is some old Close to My Heart twine. But with Stampin' Up, we have what's called linen thread, which is a little bit thinner than this. That's what this is right here. I just ran out of that for right now. So I'm going to use this twine, and I'm just going to kind of make some little circles here. And we're going to kind of just tack it down to these guys here, because I want it to, okay, that didn't really work out well. Let me put a little adhesive right in there so I can really tack it down. So I'm just making loops, and then I'm going to take the loops and I'm going to, okay, that's not working out for me very well. Okay, there we go. I've got my little loops. I'm just going to tack it down there. And I gotta pull them out a little further. There we go, because I want them to stick out quite a lot. There we go. So I'm gonna stick them out over there, tack that down, and then my little sea star, we're gonna give him a little dimensional as well. And put that right there. And card number 1 is done. So cute, right? I love this Country Woods paper. I think it is super fun. It's got a lot of like the brown tone wood grains, but then it does have some pops of color like this aqua colored one. I think the correct Stampin' Up color for this is Pool Party. And then it also has this peach one. So this next card we're gonna do is a fun fold. So there is our fun fold. How fun is that? So what happened here is I cut the card base at the card front at a diagonal, and then I have all of my pieces here ready to go. So let's pull those out of the little baggie. This diagonal cut piece is going to go right on the card front, and then of course the background of it is that pretty brown wood grain. So let's adhere this right on the front, and it gives just a tiny little border. There we go. And then I have a piece, I think this is 3x4. Yep, 3x4. It's actually 3x8 because it's folded in half. And this piece is going to go here. It's going to fold out from under the card, or under the front there. Okay, but underneath it is going to be this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack it down to the peach piece here, and I'll explain myself. I'm going to tack it down here, and then I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this piece, because I have to kind of line it up and make sure that this fold is in the right spot. Okay, so I want to make sure that I can still fold it, but I do want it to be semi-centered in the middle there, and then I want it to be able to fold over the front. And then this piece just goes on the front. This is the piece that we embossed and inked. So this was toffee ink directly on the embossing folder, and then run the piece of cardstock through there. And then the cardstock comes out not only embossed, but inked as well. So that's how that happened. Then we're gonna take some twine and we're gonna make like an X there. So let me get some twine and I'll show you how that's gonna work. So I'm gonna put a little piece of adhesive right in the middle there because this is gonna get covered up by that big peach star. So I'm gonna put the adhesive here and then I'm going to go under and around and tack it down in the center. And then I'm gonna kind of, hold on, I need to kind of cross it so that it makes an X and then come back around. And then we're gonna cut it. So now that it's like that, now we cut it off. Then we can put this star right over that, okay? So let me stamp these 2 peach stars. So I already have this one on the block. These get stamped in toffee. So we'll line this one up again. And the way I lined it up is this piece here, this like arrow, I guess, is fatter and this one is skinnier. So when I move my star around, I have the fat arrow on this side and the skinny one on that side, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so now I've stamped my star. That one's done. We can put this back on the carrier sheet and let's do the big star. And the big star is easier to line up because on here, there is one little fan or point of the star that kind of kinks off to the side, and that's at the top right now. So I'm going to leave that at the top and then I can find it on the block, and it is this piece right here. So I'm going to keep that at the top, ink that guy up, and then I know I can line it up and it's pretty good. So there's my stamped star. So it's in peach. I could have left it peach, but I kind of like that it's stamped. So let's put a little bit of adhesive on this guy. We're just gonna use the tape runner here, and we're gonna use the tape runner on this guy too. And I'll just kind of take the extra adhesive and just kind of fold it back in there. And then this one, do the same. Make sure there's no extra. And then we're gonna cover up the cross of the twine, and then this guy just kind of sits down there. That's the front of my card. And then as you can see, when I open it, I have a sentiment here. That's what this little cut piece is for, but this is not cut correctly. So I'm gonna have to cut a little piece off. So let's cut a piece. See if that lines up a little better. That's perfect. Okay, so let's stamp our sentiment. That is, your friendship is the best gift. And that one is right here. Put it on my block. It kind of goes like that. And ink that up. Oh, since I cut it, maybe it was all cut incorrectly. Who knows? It's a little tight, but it fits. Very good. So we'll adhere this down to the peach piece. And then the peach is half on my diagonal piece and half off. So I'm going to put adhesive just on this one side there. And then we're going to go half on and half off. I'm going to get that kind of right in the middle there. And here's our card. So fun fold card, fun fold card. So here are my 2 Seaside Wishes finished cards. So let me go up and down. Which wood grain color do you like the best? Do you like the peach the best, or do you like the aqua the best? And then I'm sure you're going to tell me you love this fun fold, because I know how much you guys love your fun folds, and I do too. So there are the 2 Seaside Wishes cards. Here's the Seaside Wishes bundle, which currently is available. So if you're looking for it, it is currently available. This is the stamp set. It has the die along with this. Okay, and then the embossing folder, which was moved off the table, and I don't know where it is anymore. But there is your demo for Seaside Wishes. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.